Welcome to Howard's Opinion, the podcast where we dive into the world of sports and give you my unfiltered take on the latest news and storylines. I'm your host, Howard, and I'm excited to share my thoughts with you today. We're going to start with a couple of stories that caught my attention in the world of college baseball. First up, let's talk about the NCAA Tournament. The top-seeded Arkansas Razorbacks are looking to make a deep run in the tournament, but they've got some challenges ahead of them. They'll be hosting the Fayetteville Regional this weekend, where they'll face off against North Dakota State, Kansas, and Creighton. Now, I know what you're thinking. Arkansas is a powerhouse program with a strong lineup and a deep bullpen. And you're right, they do have some impressive stats. Their offense is averaging 8.8 runs per game, which is the most of any Power 4 team. But, as we all know, the postseason is a whole different ball game. The Razorbacks will need to bring their A game if they want to advance to the Super Regionals. One thing that's got me concerned about Arkansas is their starting pitching. Since April 1st, their weekend rotation has been averaging fewer than 4 innings per start, with an ERA of 5.88. That's not exactly what you want to see from your starters, especially in a tournament where every game counts. They'll need Zach Root and Gage Wood to step up and eat some innings if they want to make a deep run. On the other hand, we've got the Ole Miss Rebels, who are looking to make some noise in their own regional. They're led by SEC Player of the Year Wahiba Aloy, who's been tearing it up at the plate all season. And let's not forget about their bullpen, which has been lights out all year. They've got 8 relievers with an ERA under 5, which is a huge advantage in a tournament where bullpens can make all the difference. But, as we all know, weird things can happen in double elimination brackets. Just last year, Arkansas was upset by Kansas State in their own regional. So, you can never count out any team, no matter how strong they look on paper. We'll be keeping a close eye on both of these teams as the tournament progresses. Will Arkansas be able to overcome their pitching woes and make a deep run? Can Ole Miss ride their strong offense and bullpen to a championship? We'll be discussing all of this and more in the coming days. We'll be right back with more fascinating sports news on Howard's Opinion. Welcome back to Howard's Opinion. We're diving into the world of sports now, and I've got a juicy story for you. The Pittsburgh Steelers have been making headlines lately with their handling of the quarterback position, and one of their own legends is not happy about it. Terry Bradshaw, the Hall of Fame quarterback who led the Steelers to 4 Super Bowl victories, has spoken out about the team's recent decisions. According to Bradshaw, the Steelers' handling of Kenny Pickett was a failure. He believes the team didn't provide Pickett with the necessary support, including a decent offensive line and wide receivers. And now, with Pickett traded away, the Steelers are pursuing Aaron Rodgers, which Bradshaw thinks is a joke. He even went so far as to say that Rodgers should stay in California, go somewhere and chew on bark, and whispered to the gods out there. Ouch! Harsh words from a Steelers legend. But you have to wonder, is Bradshaw right? Have the Steelers been mishandling their quarterback situation since Ben Roethlisberger's retirement? It's clear that they're still searching for a long-term solution, but maybe they should take a step back and reevaluate their approach. And it's not just Bradshaw who's critical of the team's moves. Other fans and analysts are also questioning the Steelers' decision-making. The team's pursuit of Rodgers has been met with skepticism, and many are wondering if it's worth the risk. But hey, that's what makes sports so interesting, right? The drama, the controversy, the strong opinions. And we're going to keep diving into all of it, right here on Howard's Opinion. So, what do you think about the Steelers' quarterback situation? Do you agree with Terry Bradshaw's assessment, or do you think the team is on the right track? Let us know on social media using the hashtag #Howard'sOpinion. Stay tuned for our final story of the day right here on Howard's Opinion. Speaking in his signature style as the closing segment of his podcast, Howard's Opinion, welcome back to Howard's Opinion, folks. As we wrap up today's show, I'd like to shift gears a bit and talk about something that's really caught my attention. You know, we often focus on the big leagues, the professional sports, and the athletes who make it to the top. Got whack. But today, I want to shine a light on some incredible stories from the world of amateur ice hockey. I've been reading about the Wallenpaupack area team, also known as the Bucks, and their dominance of the local ice hockey scene back in the late 1990s to 2009. Under the direction of coach Scott Van Gorder, this team was a force to be reckoned with, winning championships and producing talented players who went on to do great things. What I love about this story is the passion and dedication that these athletes and their families showed for the sport. Coach Van Gorder's own sons were part of the team, and it's clear that ice hockey was a labor of love for them. They formed an amateur team called the Lake Region Loons and would travel miles to play games, often getting home late at night but always coming back for more. And then there's the story of the Rolling Warriors, a team from Space's Second Drive, an organization that provides recreational opportunities for people with disabilities. They recently won a championship and are heading to the World Tournament, which is just incredible. These stories remind us that sports are about so much more than just winning or losing. They're about community, camaraderie, and the pursuit of excellence. They're about people coming together to support each other and to achieve something greater than themselves. As we close out today's show, I want to leave you with a thought. What can we learn from these amateur athletes and their families? What can we apply to our own lives and our own pursuits? For me, it's about the importance of passion, dedication, and community. It's about finding something you love and going after it with all your heart. And it's about supporting each other every step of the way. That's all for today's Howard's Opinion. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, these are some of my humble thoughts.